Hey, dancing friends, it's Paul, Dr. Nacho. Welcome to another episode of Job Connect TV. Can you negotiate your associate contract? The best part about being here on Zoom when we're doing this is you get to ask questions yourself. So I love questions yourself, questions that you have, because we can customize the program to you. There's gonna be videos, there's gonna be tips from me. So as we share these videos, just think of a question you have. You can put it in the chat. You can put it in the Q&A anonymously. I love to answer, or would love to be able to answer some questions that would help you specifically.
Go.
Okay, this is a dentist who graduated in the 1990s with debt. Oh, it's manageable. A little tough, but manageable. All right, off 1990s debt. Next, 2000s debt in the purple. Oh, this is my generation. Not easy, but the cost to go to dental school, probably at the high end, $200,000. Okay, off 2010 debt, green sweatshirt. Oh man, dental school pricing has gotten doubled, even though new grads are making the same. Dentist income is stagnant. Okay, 2020 debt. Everybody on here.
Oh,
Next. Good. Good. Drew, can you get on?
Drew, get on the back. Get back.
Okay. Hold on, Drew. There's 2021 debt. Oh, that's so tough. Thanks, guys.
Has your clinical experience as a dental student or new dentist suffered due to this Nacho Nuts pandemic? My name is Dr. Paul Goodman, and at Dental Nachos, we are doing something to help. Super Dentist Boost is designed to help you both inside the operatory and outside the operatory, both with clinical skills and patient management skills. To learn more about it, just visit dentalnachos.com or text Boost to 215-543-6454. We have over 600 people signed up for Super Dentist Boost. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be live see. You can earn from your couch. If you want to get the most crazy Nacho Nuts pricing that's going on right now until February 14th, just text Boost to 215-543-6454. $18 for 18 CE credits. My awesome team member Natalie will also drop the discount code into the chat, as well as the link, and join 600 of your dentisting friends to see an amazing show. So we want to talk about, can you negotiate your associate contract? So let's just start off with a yes, no question. So many of you are joining us here live in the chat, which is awesome. Put in the chat, yes or no, can you negotiate an associate contract? Plur gives you this contract, okay? Plur gives you a contract with all these things and says, what can you negotiate? Is it possible to negotiate? Let me know what you think. Yes or no in the chat. Can you negotiate? Got a lot of yeses? Okay, good. So some yeses. What I'm doing right now is what I want to do all the time. Hopefully what you want to do is denting humans in the way that you want to do it. AATI, always about the impact, and the ABC, always be caring, always be connecting, and always be creative. So it's a Job Connect TV show asking you, helping you figure out how to negotiate your associate contract so you can do things like this. There's a lot of awesome things about being a dentist. There's also a lot of annoying things about being a dentist. So sometimes it's just good to remember why we do what we do and the impact we get to have on people.
So how was your whole experience going through the implant process?
It was incredible. Dr. Goodman was so amazing. He put me at ease. I was completely stressed, but he put me at ease, and he was gentle and thorough and gave me a play-by-play action of what he was doing, which relieved my anxiety. And most importantly, he kept to our timeline, so I would have it completed by the day of my daughter's, well, right before my daughter's wedding, August 3rd, and we got it done July 31st, so I could smile broadly and happily throughout the whole wedding weekend. And I'm so appreciative of his team and what he did. He's so incredible, and his dad would be so proud of him.
Smile broadly and happily through her daughter's wedding. I want to help you smile broadly and happily through your associate career. So far, good job with the yes or no's. We're doing great. I got some yeses in there. Now, next question. What's something that you wish you negotiated, but you didn't in a previous associate contract? I also see some practice owners here. What are some things you're thinking about putting into a contract, but not sure if it'll be too inflammatory? How big should the restrictive covenant be? Lab fees, percentage of collection and production, notice of termination. So as we watch this next video about the impact, because you cannot have an impact on patients if you don't have a job, share with me in the chat something you're thinking about. What's something that you wish you had negotiated? What's a question you have? Can I negotiate this? Who should be the person negotiating? And if you're a practice owner, what are some of the things you're thinking about putting in the contract? Because the more I can customize this, I'll share with you what I do as a practice owner. I'll share with you what I do as the founder of Dentist Job Connect, who helps people connect for jobs. But what's most important is you, your story, what you're thinking about. So I'd love if you'd share in the chat one of those things as we watch this next video.
Hey, dentists and friends, it's Paul Dr. Nacho. I'm sitting with one of my favorite people and patients on earth. We did a full mouth implant case back in 2008 when I was only a 31-year-old dentist. Came in today to get it for us to look at it. It looks awesome. Life-changing impact of dental implants. I'm going to ask Rick, what has been the best part of having these teeth?
Oh, I could smile anytime I want, and I could eat anything I want, and they feel like my real teeth.
That's just so cool. And if someone was saying, my patients, they're not going to go for it because it's too expensive, was the financial investment for you worth it?
Oh, without a doubt, 100%. I would do it again if I had to.
So I would do it again if I had to. So listen, we got a question in the chat. Awesome Q&A. We're going to get that question in a minute, but let's play a game. This is your patient and you charge $15,000 for the restoration, and your associate restores this in the office because you don't know how to restore hybrids, but they do. Great. And the lab bill is $5,000, and the associate is paid 30% of their collections, and the patient pays in full the first day. So the patient pays $15,000. The lab bill's $5,000. How much should the associate pay of that lab bill? The associate is paid 30% of collections. So the associate is paid $15,000 times 30% is what? $15,000 times 30% is $4,500. So if your associate's over here and say, here's $4,500 for doing this case, how much should you take back for the lab bill? The lab bill is $5,000. Does anyone have an answer? I should play some like game show music, but I'll just mute myself for 20 seconds. Case is $15,000. Associate restores it. Associate's paid 30% of collections. Patient pays the $15,000. Lab bill's $15,000. How much should the associate pay of that lab bill? Good question. It depends. I know. Thanks. I love the answer. It depends. Give me what you would want your associate to pay. Good start. It depends. I love that. It depends. Tell me what you would do for your contract then. Great answer. Okay. Someone said 20%. Should the associate negotiate the indemnification clause? So good question. Doing great. We're really warming up here. This is awesome. So let's look. $15,000 in collections. Lab bill, $5,000. Associate is paid 30%. So that's $4,500. What makes the most sense? Great phrase to use when negotiating contracts. What I think makes the most sense is for the associate to pay 30% of the lab bill. In this case, that would be $1,500. So the associate would earn $3,000 total. Let's break this down. $15,000 is the total and the patient paid. $5,000 is the lab bill. The associates paid 30%. The easiest way to do this is you take what's collected minus the lab bill. We get $10,000 and pay the associate 30% of that for $3,000. So what, if you're watching, golden nacho tip. Hey, what makes the most sense, what I've heard out there on the streets, on our dental streets, is that associates pay the same amount as they're paid of the lab bill. 35% of collections, pay 35% of lab. 25% of production, pay 25% of the lab. Here's where we get into problems with this, but does anyone have any questions about this example, which is a common question I get all the time. Any questions about this example? So if the associate wants to pay 100%, never accept a job where you pay 100% of lab bill. Don't accept it if you pay 100%. You will lose money on cases. If the owner says you don't have to pay any of your lab bill, that's kind of nice. But if you're an owner, I want to share with you, you're overpaying in that scenario. So what I do in our practice, our system, everything that matters needs a system, is in our contract. If the associate's paid 30% of collections, they will pay 30% of the lab. So that's a contractual thing that negotiations happen with that a lot. Don't accept 100% of the lab bill. That's a problem. If you're a practice owner, you just want to be nice and say they don't have to pay any lab. That you could be nice, but that's likely going to cost you more money than normal. So the same percentage of the lab. Now, first question I got. Great question. Is what is a fair minimum daily wage for a new grad since we are not as skilled and fast? Great question. I would want to know that too. Great way to answer a question. Hey, can you do a molar root canal in a half hour? Great question. I'd want to know that too. The way it works for me is it takes me 2 visits of 75 minutes, whatever it is. So put in the chat. This is great. We're having a good time here. I am at least. I hope you guys are too. What is a fair wage for a daily minimum for a new grad? Put it in the chat. What would you say a fair wage is for a new grad? Daily minimum. If you were hiring a new grad yourself, what would you guarantee them per day? They work for you 3 days a week. What would you guarantee them? And I'll share my answer. So we have 550 to 850. I like depends, but let's go with numbers. Depends are helping. No GPR 600, GPR 650 to 700. That's good. I see the depends is my friend who posted the other day on Nachos. Loved your post the other day. So depends on the market area, sure. But let's say, what would you do? We only have 5 seconds to answer. I got 550 to 850. I got 600. I got 650 to 700. Anybody else want to throw one in? So as somebody who connects people for jobs and someone who hires associates, I will share with you the daily safety net guarantee that I feel is reasonable to hear. So someone comes to me, hey, Dr. Nacho, I got a job. The daily safety net guarantee is $150 a day. Not reasonable. Hey, Dr. Nacho, I got a job. The daily safety net guarantee I want to ask for is $1,500 a day. Not reasonable. This would be a daily safety and guarantee of $500 a day is reasonable. One of the biggest concerns, hopefully I'm on record in this video, maybe someone will watch this years from now. Today is February 6, 2021. The biggest problem we have facing dentistry is that what dentists make coming out of school in 2002 when I came out is the same as 2021, even though it costs 3 or 4 times the amount to go to dental school. $500 a day has been this daily safety minimum, daily safety net. Now, daily safety net minimum, does everyone hear this? It is a daily safety net so the dentist can eat food, provide shelter, pay loans. If they work 200 days a year, that's $100,000. But it goes against or versus their 32% of collections. So the hope is to make more. But this running daily safety net guarantee will make sure that that person working there can provide for themselves. Put in the chat, would you take a job without a daily safety net guarantee in June of 2021? If someone says, hey, I want to give you a job, it's a great job. You could do root canals, you could do crowns, you can place implants, you can get all the new patients. Oh, could I have a daily safety net guarantee? Nah, you just eat what you kill. I agree. Don't take it. I would not take it. Also, I'm just a single solitary person standing here. I have a lot of stories with finding jobs for people, hiring associates. Okay, so I have a lot of stories. There's no studies. No one's done studies on this. But I would not accept that because if an owner does not offer a daily safety net guarantee, to me, that is a red flag. Why not? I offer them to my associates. I've had 4 associates every single day they work from day 1 until they finish. They can work for us for 1 year or 10 years. So daily safety net guarantees make people confident that they're going to be able to eat food. I don't understand. I don't say to my office manager, you know, maybe if people pay today, I'll pay you. If not, I won't pay you. No idea how this happened. So a daily safety net guarantee prevents being, yes, that's a good answer, prevents from being taken advantage of. So we've learned here, $500 a day is reasonable. If I hear that, I'm going to tell you it's reasonable. I hear 600, great. I hear 700, great. I start here under 500, it's not so great. So hopefully that helps you guys with value, with understanding how contracts work. So we're getting great questions here. What's the fair minimum daily guarantee wage for new grad? Follow-up question. How does a GPR or AGD influence the daily safety net guarantee? I will share for me. It doesn't influence it at all for me. I also don't hire people who haven't done a GPR or AGD. So that is also just unique for me. It should not really influence it because it's a business decision by the office. A business decision by the office should say, watch this. Do you want to hire an associate? Okay, yes, I do. I want to pay them. They get paid about a third of what they do. Let's just use my, can I deliver $1,500 of production? If my production was a giant bag of nachos, not surprisingly, I have those here. Can I take some of my production and give it to an associate over here at $1,500 a day so they can make like $500? That's the question you should be asking yourself. Are you willing to give up some of your production to have an associate? Are you willing to take stuff that you might be able to do and give it to an associate so that you can pay that daily safety net guarantee as you grow the practice for them? Really excellent question there. Now we're getting all kinds of good questions here. Someone did ask you to negotiate the indemnification clause. I am here. I'm not a dental focused attorney. I don't even play one on TV. I did want to get a gavel and yell, "You can't handle the truth." One of my favorite movies, A Few Good Men. Okay. But I'm sharing with you, I'm not a dental focused attorney. Rob Montgomery, my podcast partner, dentalamigos.com, what we do, yourdentallawyer.com. If you want an intro to Rob Montgomery, a dental focused attorney that I work with all the time, personally, just email dental focused attorney to salsa@dentalnachos.com. Natalie will put that in the chat and we'll give you a TLC intro. Rob has made all my associate contracts for my team, Rob and his team, and he's also reviewed a lot of associate contracts, okay? So getting a dental focused attorney to work with you to review on either end is super important. So we're getting all kinds of great questions here. I'm actually gonna play one more of my infomercials for Boost. I hope you guys sign up for Boost. It's gonna be awesome. We have over 600 people as I read through a few questions. It's only gonna be 30 seconds.
Has your clinical experience as a dental student or new dentist suffered due to this Nacho Nuts pandemic? My name is Dr. Paul Goodman, and at Dental Nachos, we are doing something to help. Super Dentist Boost is designed to help you both inside the operatory and outside the operatory, both with clinical skills and patient management skills. To learn more about it, just visit dentalnachos.com or text Boost to 215-543-6454.
So I'm not supposed to say who my favorite audience is, but you guys are my favorite audience so far. Why? Because you're asking so many good questions. So much more fun for me to answer the Q&A than just go through my stuff. So really good questions. We're going to dig into them one at a time. So how does a GPR AGD influence the daily safety net guarantee? It doesn't for me, but a GPR AGD skills, extraction, bone grafting, some root canals, maybe restoring implants, maybe placing some implants, allows you to make more. So $500 a day for both parties, but the GPR AGD grad may be able to make more if they can offer more procedures. That's just simple. So it does not influence the difference. So if you're a GPR AGD grad, I wouldn't expect to make a bigger safety net guarantee, but I would ask if there's opportunities for you to do some of the things that you've learned. So if you say, hey, could I do extraction bone grafts if you don't do any? And they say, my best friend's a periodontist, there's no way that you can do any. That's something that you should think about or consider. Great question. Next question. How long would you provide the daily safety net guarantee to newly hired associates? Okay. Here's my answer. Ready for it? This is my answer as a practice owner. Forever. I would provide it forever. Forever and ever and ever. Not everybody does that. I provide it forever and ever and ever. I want them to feel confident. If you hold me to what I would say to make sure you don't get taken advantage of, 6 months, because then in 6 months, you're going to see if you can meet it. So at least, you know, for 6 months, you're going to make the equivalent of $500, $600 a day. I have a principal that gives a monthly guarantee of $5K if the production is not met, but would claw back on higher production months to compensate. That is 100% normal. So let me share. We're going to take when you get a job in July, August, and September. We got 3 months. And we're going to use this example of $5K per month. So this nice dentist in the chat says they get $5K per month and they're paid 30%, $5K daily safety net guarantee. Everybody with me? $5K daily safety net guarantee. Okay, 5K daily savings. Now I'll take another color, red. And the first month, what you produce 30% is only 3K. 3K. I'm going to say 3K. The next month is 4K. And the next month is 6K. So they've given you 15K, and you've only done enough production to cover 13K. So they've given you 15K. Sorry, the moderator's got some stuff on me here as part of this Saturday lecturing. Sorry, guys. 15K. So you fell short 2K. You fell short 2K. Fell short. Now, stick with me. In October, okay? In October, you produce enough. Your guarantee's 5K in October, but you produce enough to get 7K. But you fell short 2K the first 3 months. Here's my question. How much extra do they pay you in October? If you went 2K over in October, but 2K short the first 3 months, how much do you get paid in October extra? How much do you get paid in October extra? I'll say. Put the answer here in a minute. The answer, 0. You get no extra because you made up for what you didn't produce. Now, if you leave the practice and you're short 2K, they don't get to ask you for 2K back from your bank account in my world of a daily safety net guarantee. If you accept a draw, they may be able to. A really good question for an attorney. Because if you work for me for a year and I guarantee $100,000 and I pay you $100,000, ready? This is super important. If you work for me for a year and I guarantee you $100,000 and your production was equivalent to $85,000 and you leave to move to Hawaii on day 365, how much money do I take back from you in Paul's world of daily safety net guarantee? What do I take back from you? What do I say? Oh, hey, Dr. Guac, I need this money back because you didn't cover it in my world. I take back 0. A draw may ask you for $15,000 back. So does everyone understand the difference between a draw and a daily guarantee? Because it's tricky. Does anyone have any questions about that? Draw and a daily safety net guarantee. Accepting a draw is in your contracts. Accepting a draw means, and please ask an attorney, to my knowledge, as a practice owner, as a Dr. Nacho, as someone who helps, as someone who's not an attorney, a draw means they can claw back the money out of your bank account. They can claw back. Mine is a running tally at all times. But if someone picks up and moves to San Francisco from New Jersey mid-contract and they got guaranteed $50,000 and they only produce 40, I don't try to get the 10 back. A draw may mean you have to get the 10 back. So draw and guarantee can be different. Great question for a dental-focused accountant and a dental-focused attorney. I had another great question here in the chat from one of my friends. He's a great guy. What is your take on a minimum wage of $10K a month or 35% of collection minus 35% lab fee? Already, I think this sounds great. Catch is, if 1 month you only collected 8K and the next month you pay you collected 8K and the next month you'll pay 14K, you have to pay 2K back. You won't pay 2K back. It's just a running tally. So that's how I operate. I'll pay $100,000 for the year as this example. You produce 120, we give you 20 extra. You produce 92, you keep the 100. Simple terms, simple terms. I like the 10K a month. That's 120K a year, net collection of 35%. Really, really good ones. All right, let's see what other message we got here. GPR allows skills. Should the daily safety base be lower if you work half versus full day? Maybe. That one's, I will give you a maybe. I'm not against that. I don't do it because maybe I'm lazy for my associates. I just say 500 a day no matter what, blah, blah, blah. But if I had an associate that I guaranteed $600 for an 8-hour day and they only work 4 hours on Saturdays, maybe that daily safety net guarantee that day would be $300. So I would say I would not take a job because of that. Another question, would you, before signing a contract as an associate, where you're being paid as independent contractor, pros and cons in the dental world as an associate? So you're doing this for 15 years, helping dentists find jobs, being an associate for my dad for a short time myself, doing Dentist Job Connect, working with Rob Montgomery. Most normal for dental associates to be W-2 employees. If you are an independent contractor, you're going to pay your own taxes for a certain percent of taxes. So I will give you an example. Put the legality part aside because you really are a W-2 as an associate. I know there are accountants that might say you're not. It's a question to ask your accountant, not me. Don't say Paul Goodman said W-2 versus 1099. But let's play a game here. It's a fun game because it's about money. Do you guys like money? Raise your hand. Who here likes money? Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you like money. Okay. Thank you for raising. We weren't moving on until someone was raising. Okay. So if you're a W-2 employee and you're paid 32% of collections as an associate with a $500 a day guarantee, or they want you to be a 1099 employee with a $500 a day guarantee, what should you be paid as a 1099 percentage to make up for the taxes? So ready? You're paid 32%. I got this mic in all the time. So you're paid 32%, makes you feel very official. You're paid 32% as a W-2, $500 a day guarantee. I also will guarantee you $500 a day as a 1099 employee. What percentage should I pay to make it even with the W-2? What percentage should I pay to make it even? Does anybody want to guess? You want to guess? Good. I see people guessing. I like it. Yep. Okay. Got it right. That's one. 35%. That's an easy example to understand. So if they pay you 32% as a 1099, you are now paying more taxes. Being a W-2 is most normal. Being an employee is most normal. Employees usually have better benefits. I paid all my associates, general dental associates, as employees. If you're a traveling specialist who goes to 5 offices and has your own LLC and has a sophisticated accountant, then you might be able to have a better conversation about 1099s. But if you're 1 or 2 years out of dental school and you're just going to work at a place, W-2, in my experience, as a non-dentist, as a non-dental focused attorney and non-dental focused accountant, is a W-2 is to your advantage. Great questions. This has really been a fun show. Well, I'll even go a little over time since you guys are so great. So some people guessed none. That was great. Good. I'm just looking through the chats here. Good. We talked about W-2. Great. Thanks so much. Perfect. How about the hybrid combination of guaranteed and percentage of collections? That's the best way. Great one. How is I do a hybrid. My associate, okay, you get I don't always say my exact numbers just because I'm not trying to hide anything from them. I'm just giving examples. Hey, I'm going to hire someone that starts July from GPR, from Albert Einstein, where I went. I love the place. We're going to pay you 32% of collections minus 32% of lab with a daily safety net guarantee of $500. So if you collect $40,000 in a month, let's actually make it really easy. 33%. If you collect $45,000 in a month and you had no lab bills, you're going to make 15 grand that month. If I paid you 10 grand, you're going to be owed an additional $5,000. So that hybrid is a great way to go about it. All right. Also, I'm going to just do one more video here and then we can do a couple more questions. I want these all to be about 30 minutes. So there was a dentist who I told this dentist not to take this job after her residency program. And I said, too many red flags. This dentist had taken this job, texted me and said, hey, Paul, you were right. I was like, I know, there was too many red flags. They say, will you help me? I said, of course I will help you. I got her a different job. This is that dentist. So she ran by her job when she was a GPR resident. I said, don't take it. She said, I like you, Paul, but I'm going to take it. I said, okay, it's not my life. Do whatever you want. So then she texted me and said, job would not turn out well. Wasn't getting paid, right? Some weird things going on at the office. So then I found her a job, which she really likes and she's still at. So I said, You're going to sit down and you're going to talk to people about it. So this 4 minutes is gold. It is gold. Whether you're a practice owner, a dental student, a dental resident, somebody new in this is a story of somebody who had a bad job, now has a better job, how she got there, and what she would do in this scenario. I ask her this as we go through these 4 minutes. I'll stay for after. Any last minute questions we'll do after this 4 minutes is over.
What makes this environment more positive? If you were sharing with young dentists about what to look for in a positive
Yeah, I mean, I 100% trust the other doctor I'm working with.
That's important.
I know that the value of his dentistry is good, and I know that he has the patient's best interest at heart. I know that he wants, comprehensive care for people. We're like on the same level when it comes to dentistry. And then he has trained his support staff so well that the assistants know everything. The front desk knows everything. It's like a well-oiled machine, if you will.
And as you see, like this restaurant is a perfect example, and you're talking about your current place. I'm not even sure of this answer. Were you alone at your previous place ever? Or right, so that
like 90% of the time.
Right, so like you're a young dentist, young chef, and you have a seasoned chef to just say, like you said to me, is this normal?
Yeah.
And you can text me about a job, but it's nice to just be able to walk down the hall,
right.
walk in a room, get away from the patients and
Absolutely.
just say, hey, is this a normal thing to have someone? And that's
Absolutely.
just a priceless thing. What's interesting probably in your world, Billy has this more, is dentists, we don't talk enough about how valuable that first few years of training is, and it's not about money. It wouldn't matter if you made $100,000 a year, $200,000 a year, because the rest of your career gets dictated by that. And sometimes I know it's tough when dentists have loans, even if it wasn't necessarily your scenario, but they see this glowing number they're going to make. And there's not something totally right about that. So I appreciate you sharing. What are some words you would have for young dentists? If they were in your shoes as a resident, looking for jobs, evaluating jobs, thinking about stuff, what are some words of wisdom?
Well, before the resident thing, if you're thinking about doing a residency, absolutely do it.
I agree.
Like, I always had the mentality like, okay, so I'm going to take a pay cut to do a residency. What could I use that money to then do CE while I'm in private practice and it even out? Not the same.
Yeah, I'm glad you shared that.
Not even at all the same.
Because you're practicing on people.
Yes.
And a bigger, stronger dentist is watching you
Right.
place an implant, do a filling. It could just be even talk to a patient, and you get to walk out just like a hospital residency, and the patients know that's normal. In a private practice, they don't tolerate that.
Right.
So I think that's a really good message
so
about
if
doing
you're thinking about going to residency, do it. Step one.
You're in a residency, and I totally get it. And you've been in dental school, now you're looking for a job, and even though people think I'm a good resource for the owner part, but I'm not looking for a job. So share what are some red flags you see, or even just good things they should focus on.
I definitely think that going to events like this, and like you said, CEs in general are very valuable. Because after I found my new job, funny enough, I went to a couple of your events and met people that were looking for jobs.
Right.
And I was like, well, I just signed, so so close.
Yeah.
But it's like good to do that kind of stuff because you can meet people in person and kind of do a pre-interview in a normal setting where you're not freaked out. So that's very valuable. I mean, when you're going through the interview, do as many interviews as you can.
Totally. Well, as many dates
I
as
went to
possible.
one, exactly. I went to one where as soon as I walked in, I knew I wasn't going to like it just because the air of the place was not good. But I still sat there, talked to them, pretended like I really wanted the job because I was practicing my skills, trying to interview, learning what I do and don't like about a practice so that I can practice enough that when the good one comes around, I've done it a few times.
So that's truly awesome advice. Go on as many interviews as possible, interview as many associates as possible. My awesome sister and leader of Dentist Job Connect, Jill, is here in the chat. She helps people find jobs all the time with Dentist Job Connect. So just reach out to her at jobconnect@dentalnachos.com if you want to list your position or if you want to find a job. You can also text job to 215-543-6454. I see one more question here in the chat. You guys can feel free to ask a couple more, but what is a fair production percentage to pay as an associate? I'm currently at 25%. Is that bad? 25% production is a little bit on the lower side, but I would ask, what's your monthly production? If you're producing $50,000 per month and you're making a quarter of that, maybe that's going to be $12,500. You're making $150,000 a year. That's not a bad yearly income. 25% of production is a little lower than what I'm used to hearing. but it doesn't mean it's a bad job if you have the opportunity to produce. So don't get too hung up on production percentage, but it would be reasonable to say, hey, I've been looking around and I think like 28% production would make more sense. You can ask. This whole thing's about contract negotiations. Just ask a good question in a positive and kind way and see what people have to say about it. Super Dentist Boost, I'm super excited for. Hope you guys all join us. It's a Nacho Nuts price. Just text Boost to 215-543-6454. It's worth it if you just see one of these lectures, like Class 4 composites from a master of resin, Dr. Jason Smithson from the UK, Dr. Mark Costas, talking about how EBITDA is for real. Age is just a number, but EBITDA is for real. Multiple practice owners sharing their story. So much clinical dentistry, all the stuff you love, perio, implants, endo, practice management, more smile transformations. Really hope you guys are a part of it. So thanks for being part of Job Connect TV here. Just text JOB, J-O-B, to 215-543-6454 or email us at jobconnect@dentalnachos.com. I also would love to learn, actually see one more, what's reasonable when it comes to CE and insurance benefits? Great question. Health insurance benefits, if you're an employee, you should get benefits just like other employees. Cs are pretty much a bonus. So if someone pays $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $500 for CE, I wouldn't take a job or not take a job because of it, but it's a nice bonus topping if it's there. Health insurance benefits, if you're an employee and everyone else gets health insurance, you should get that too. A great question for your dental focused attorney as well. So if you guys put in the chat one thing you learned from this, that helps me. I take a picture of it in the chat. I would love to know, what is one thing that you learned watching in on this show today that you could take with you, practice owner, associate, things like that. I love sharing things like this. So have a great rest of your guys' day. And before you jump off the Zoom, just throw in the chat one thing that you learned watching in, and I'll take a couple pictures of it. So make sure that I put that in future shows like this. Thanks, guys.
Are you a dentist that loves details? Do you want to know the probing depth of 15 distal buccal when you're working on number 30? Before making a treatment plan, would you like to know the medical history of the patient's third grade teacher? That sounds like you. My name is Paul Dr. Nacho, and I'm here to give you details so you can make a good decision. We are having Dentist Super Boost coming up February 26th to 28th. And we have so many amazing speakers, my awesome friends. And whenever I ask someone to come to a CE course, very few people are like, oh, sure, I'll be there. Like, what's the topic? What's we going to have for lunch? Are they going to talk about practice management second or third? Because if they talk about a third, I'm not coming. So here it is. You can see the flyer here. I'm going to bring it to life to you. Who is speaking at Super Dentist Boost? And if you want a Nacho Nuts deal on ticket pricing, just text Boost to 215-543-6454. This entire event is virtual, but you can earn live CE from your couch to help you fulfill your state license requirements and have fun along the way. So we have my amazing friend, Dr. Mitchell Rubenstein, talking about how to deal with anxiety during clinical dentistry. If patients are too scared to get in the chair, it's very difficult to do work. Mitchell's going to help us with that. Dr. Todd Fleischman on his awesome smile transformations. We're going to have Dr. Mark Costas, one of my friends, who is going to talk age is just a number, but EBITDA, that's for real. The business skills you need to survive, the leadership skills, the profit skills. Okay. We're then going to have the amazing duo of Marcus Cowan and Louis Chen, two young dentists doing fantastic things. Their focus is going to be on implant dentistry, a little bit about digital dentistry. We're going to find out more about them. So we have an awesome first day, Friday, 5 clinical CE credits, 1 practice management credit on Friday. What happens on Saturday? First, you get up. If you have kids, ignore them and tell your spouse, who's the non-dentist, hey, you got to watch the kids. I got to do work. Get out your phone, get out your iPad, get coffee, get a mimosa, and get ready for Saturday. We have endo, one of your favorite topics, by Dr. Brett Gilbert. We have a practice management panel with phenomenal human beings and speakers that will talk about team harmony, customer service, and how dental insurance works. Dr. Stephanie Mapp, Dr. Robert Pick, and Kira Dent. The afternoon on Saturday, get ready for it. Hope you get an old-fashioned ready, because I know our speakers like that. Dr. Dimitri and Dr. Audra Ward will be talking about perio and soft tissue grafting. So that's Saturday. 4 clinical CE credits, 2 practice management credits, all free to watch on your couch live. Then what happens on Sunday? Super Dentist Boost is modeled after the Super Bowl Sunday, Super Dentist Boost Sunday, we have the amazing Dr. Scott Levy talking about endo for the GP. One of my great friends, the hilarious Artie Volker, talking about restorative dentistry. All the way from the UK, we're bringing him here on Zoom, the resin rock star himself, Dr. Jason Smithson. That afternoon, Sunday afternoon, we're going to have Dr. Fadi, one of the Perio Amigos, Dr. Fadi Hassan, talking about soft tissue grafting. Again, I know you guys love fixing recession. There's recession. We fixed it. I know it's one of your favorite things. Fadi's going to talk about it. Then we're going to have an amazing finale with Dr. Rob Slough, a surgical prosthodontist who I have the honor of working with in my office. We're going to talk about full arch implant cases, immediate full arch implant cases, how to plan them. Do you want to refer them? Do you want to place the implants? Do you want to restore the implants? How to get you started on this journey responsibly. So to be part of Super Dentist Boost, earn Live CE from your couch, just text Boost to 215-543-6454. If you want to know any other details, what's Kira Dent's favorite color? Does Stephanie Mapp have a dog? She does. How much can Mark Costas bench press? Just reach out to us at boost@dentalnachos.com and we will give you those details because I want you to make a good decision. Super Dentist Boost is a great decision. You're going to be so glad you did it. Sign up, block it out, earn, learn, and have a great time. Thanks, guys.